Hi guys, this is programming part 2. What I would suggest is you can do the whole body stacks, which are using the upper body and the lower body on the same day. So a whole body workout on one day. The next day you could rest, and you might need 1 to 2 days rest before you hit it again. Now what you could do, for those of you that are doing the weight loss thing, weight maintenance, you might want to do a whole body resistance training workout on the first day. On the second day, get some cardio in, and then hit the resistance training whole body on the third day. You could do it like that. You can also do the compound stacks. Typically focus on muscle groups. So for example, you got a whole bunch of pulling exercises stacked one on top of the other. You know, different types of rowing exercises, back. So let's take back, for example. If you're focusing on different muscle groups, you want to make sure that you're not training those muscle groups again if they're still stiff or sore. And typically that might, depending on how hard you train, that's going to determine how much you need to rest. If you train incredibly hard, you might need 1, 2, 3 days, perhaps even more. If it's a new exercise you haven't done in a while, you might need to rest before that muscle has recovered, particularly if you want to build muscle. Now, if you're not training that intensely, then the rest periods for that muscle group are not going to be as important because you're not training as hard. So the resting and recovering is very important. Okay, so you have particular muscle that needs to recover, but there's also systemic recovery because it taxes the whole body. So for example, when you're doing whole body workouts, the whole body is being taxed. So you really need to think about doing this intelligently. A lot of it's going to depend on your goals. An athlete or a bodybuilder, someone that wants to increase strength or just get faster, or they're doing strength training for a sport, or they're trying to build some serious muscle, that's going to require more of a commitment, and you're probably going to feel a lot more tired. For the average person that doesn't have much of a weight issue and is just exercising for fun, you should really feel revitalized in a sense after working out. You should feel refreshed. You know, my teachers back in the day told me that give them a workout as a trainer. Give them a workout, not a wipeout. And so, that's a very good way to look at it. You should enjoy your exercise, and it should be something that makes you feel good. The only sort of departure from that idea is when you have a very specific goal that's related to performance, whether you're an athlete or just a very serious practitioner of weightlifting, and you have a very serious goal that you're trying to achieve. You're going to have portions of training that are very serious and perhaps quite taxing and difficult. So where you fit in between that of athlete or regular person, where you fit in is going to determine the intensity and the frequency of those workouts. And there's a lot of ways that you can look at it. They say in bodybuilding you should change your exercises every 5 to 6 weeks. That's good to keep in mind. I know a lot of guys that train strength do 3 very heavy weeks of training, and the 4th week is a deload week where they just train light. You can also do weeks where you do whole body. Let's say you do 1 week or 2 weeks where you're doing whole body workouts. So you're training whole body on Monday, and you're not doing that on the Tuesday, and then you're training whole body on Wednesday, and then whole body again on Friday. The days between, you may be resting, or you're doing some cardio, or maybe you're doing something else that you might like to do, play tennis or do a yoga class. And then, you know, you can come after, say, 2 weeks of whole body, you can go to more of what they call a split. So you'll see on my website, you have the compound stacks where you're focusing on muscle groups. This is the back, pulling. Then you have the chest or shoulders, which is more pushing. And then you have lower body, which combines push and pull. But those focus on muscle groups. So for example, you can have a split that's lower and upper. So Monday you would do upper body. Tuesday you would do lower body. Maybe Wednesday then you would rest or do something else. And then on Thursday and Friday you would do upper and lower respectively. You can split it many ways. You can split it 3. You can do push, pull, lower. So you do pulling back exercises on day 1, do pushing exercises like chest, for example, on day 2, and then on day 3 you do legs. Maybe on the 4th day you have to take a rest. There's a couple of different ways that you can split it up. You can also do resistance training for a period of time, say half an hour, and then do very intense cardio for, say, 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes afterwards. So you get your cardio after you've done your resistance training, if that's something that you think is necessary in your training. And so that's one way of doing it. So plenty of different ways to do it, but you really want to think about, are you going to be doing a split? Are you doing whole body? Are you incorporating cardio? Keep that in mind because, once again, the whole system is being stressed. Make sure you give yourself enough rest and good nutrition, of course, very good nutrition, particularly protein, so you can rebuild that muscle. And incorporating workouts that are lighter as well, very important. Know your tolerance. I know that there's a certain amount of deadlifting I can do in a week, and if I cross that boundary, I tend to get some lower back pain. So remember, any programs that you find, you've got to fit them into your world. It has to be made to apply to your body. You're going to have your idiosyncrasies, your injuries, and also, of course, your time schedule. So please bear that in mind. Okay, happy training.